Hi, I'm Movie Man. I'm an octopus who reviews movies, and today's review is going to be on.
Jungle Bunch World Tour.
So, I went to see this film a few days back now, cause I grew up with the original film from 2011, and I watched the TV series as a kid, and I went to see the first film, the 2017 movie from a few years back. So I went to see this new film a few days ago. It's been a while since I've watched the rest of this franchise, but yeah, I think I have honestly grown up quite a bit since I last watched any bit of this franchise. Yeah, cause I don't think this film's bad, but I think it's definitely a film which kids are going to enjoy more than adults. Um, I'll admit, I think the animation is once again pretty solid. Like, it's a really nice movie to look at. I think all the backgrounds, everything are pretty solid. I mean the character designs, like, all the character designs for our main characters are solid enough. But with all the backgrounds, animals, I don't think their character designs are all that great. They pretty much use the same models for all the animals, and yeah, they just don't really look very distinct from one another. Yeah, so I think the animation overall is pretty solid. But yeah, I don't think the character designs or anything that's amazing. As for the pace in this film now, this is honestly the shortest film I have seen this year so far, at only 89 minutes in length, and yeah, I don't think it feels like a very long film. I think it does feel like relatively short enough. I think because of its short runtime, I think the film does honestly go by pretty quickly. It doesn't really feel like a very long film. To be fair, I'm not really bothered by the quick pace. I don't mind this being a quick enough film. Which I just don't think it's exactly amazing pacing. The sounds and music. Now, the music in this film, it's pretty much just the same music from all the other movies, or the rest of the franchise. So we get to hear the same Jungle Bunch theme once again, and yeah, I think the music is honestly the best part of the film. Even though it is just pretty much the same music as in all the other movies, I still think it's pretty solid nonetheless, and I'm not gonna lie, hearing that theme song once again actually made me a bit nostalgic. That's the characters in the film. Uh, like pretty much all the characters in the movie all have their own subplots. Like Maurice. He has a subplot in this film which I won't really give away. We also have subplots for Gilbert, a subplot for Alan Bob. Yeah. And I'm not really a huge fan of some of these subplots, like with Maurice or with Gilbert. The Alan Bob subplot, I'll admit, is okay. I mean, it is a little bit entertaining, and I actually do quite like the payoff to it at the very end. But yeah, like with some of the other characters, like Miguel or Patricia, I just didn't really do anything interesting with them. Like Miguel's whole thing in this movie is that he just wants his bananas. Like that's literally all there is to his character in this film, and I mean Junior. I'm not gonna lie, he was actually an afterthought in this film. Like, I'm not gonna lie, half the time I actually forgot Junior was even in this movie. Um, yeah, for any of the new characters, like, we have an armadillo character who I think is a fine character for most of the film. Um, actually do learn something about the character kind of towards the end of the second act, which I actually thought was pretty interesting. I wasn't actually expecting the film to go there with that. But like then towards the third act, they kind of like do stuff with the armadillo, which I honestly just really wasn't a fan of. And I'm not gonna lie, the villain in this movie, his name is Henry. He's a beaver. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Henry was actually a really bland villain. Like, I mean, he's actually not even in the film for most of it. Like, we cut back to him every now and again, but like, really, it's only during the climax when he really does kind of take part in everything. Uh, for most of the film, we just see like three of his henchmen. We have like a monkey, a vulture, and a parrot, and yeah, I mean, like the monkey and the vulture, you're not really gonna remember these characters much, but that parrot, though, I've got to say, that parrot is the strangest character in this whole franchise. If you've seen this film, then you'll know what I mean. Um, so yeah, the characters for the most part weren't that great. I mean, I think Al and Bob were like the best characters here, but like, I know, I thought they could have done like way more interesting with most of the characters. The plot of this film, I mean, it's a very kind of a simple plot where we have this villain who is spreading like pink foam all over the jungle, and if you get water on it, it'll explode, and yeah, they basically have to go and find an antidote for it. Yeah, it's a very simple plot. I mean, I think the film does a fine enough job for most of it. I mean, like, kind of like, I mean, the film is pretty bonkers. Like, there is a lot of humor in the film, and I'll be honest. Uh, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not to say all the humor is not very good. Like, I think there's one or two jokes which got like a fair laugh out of me, but like the majority of the humor in the film is really only kind of towards like very young children. Like, I think very small kids will find the humor in this film funny, but if you're not a kid, if you're like an adult, then more likely than not, you are probably not going to find the humor in this film very funny. Um, so yeah, the plot of this film, it was one thing to really kind of a bonkers kid movie plot. Not badly done, just just not exactly very great or noteworthy. That's the narrative structure. Like, of course, we have like the main plot where the animals are going to find the antidote for the foam. But as I mentioned, we have subplots with all the different animals, and most of these subplots I am not really a fan of. Like, the only subplot I am a fan of is Alan Bob's, because it is a bit entertaining, but like I think like the subplots of some of the other characters they just kind of take me out of the film a little. And yeah, so I think like they could have done a better job with the narrative structure. Like, especially they could have done like something way more interesting with the villain. Have him actually be more of a threat. Overall, The Jungle Bunch 2, it's a fine movie, I think, for like small children. Like, it is definitely a very harmless kids movie, but I think that's really all this film is, a kids movie. Like, this is definitely just a film for kids if you like want to put something on to like entertain them for like an hour and a half. Yeah, this will definitely not be a film for you if you're an adult. This is just really more of a kids movie. Like, I mean, there is some nice animation, some good music, and like, again, I can see this being an entertaining movie for small children, but like, anyone who is like a bit older is more likely than not probably not going to be very entertained by this film. So really, I'd only recommend this to small kids. But I mean, then again though, I guess it was kind of nice to, watch something from this franchise again, as it is a bit nostalgic for me. But yeah, so overall, it's a fine movie, but really, it is just a film for kids. So with that, I'm going to give The Jungle Bunch 2 a 5 out of 10. So with that, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.